So what we have currently is the game runs fine, and when we kick the ball past the goal, if I go ahead and do this, it's not going to work. Okay, if I kick the ball past the goal, what happens is the score goes up right here by 2, right? And why is that the case? It's the case because when I kick it, the code here says to glide from this X position to this X position. So it glides, and during the glide, it touches the right goal. And when it touches the right goal, the ball is supposed to go to the center of the screen, but it doesn't. And why? Because it's in the middle of this glide. So this glide needs to finish in order for this go to XY to happen, right? And then we change the score by 1, and it does change the score by 1. But this forever loop happens so fast that this if statement is true 2 times as the ball is gliding from this location to this location, which is why the score goes up by 2. So how can we fix this issue? Well, what we can do is pretty simple. We just grab a weight, and after we touch the right goal, after the ball touches the right goal, we can wait for maybe 3 seconds and then warp to the center of the screen and then change score by 1. Okay. And another thing that we want to do, first of all, let's see if that works. And what we want to look at is the score down here at the bottom of the screen. 1, 2, 3. And there, it works, right? And so if that goal happens, we need other things to also happen. We need player 2 to go to this starting location. We need player 1 to be warped back to that starting location. We need all of the sensor sprites to go back to their starting locations, right? And before that, we also need the goal sprite to show, right? So for all those things to happen, we need a trigger event, and the trigger event is going to be the broadcasting of a message. So right here, we will broadcast the message. And what's the message going to be? Well, we can go here to new message and call it goal. And so now player 1, when he hears the goal, he can warp back to the starting location. So we'll say when I receive goal, then I will go back to this location right here. Okay, well, I guess I can just go ahead and put the code back together again. Go to XY, set P and X, P1X, P1Y, set it to -59 and 5. Okay, and so let's go ahead and see if that works. So let me hit that, and he gets sent back over here, right? So he gets sent back a little too early, and so the ball waits for 3 seconds over here after he passes by the goal. So I guess we can also make the player wait for 3 seconds after he passes the goal. So if we try that again, and then things should work out a little better. Kick it past the goal, waits for 1, 2, 3, and then it starts up in the center of the screen. Okay, and so you're not able to kick the ball again once you move, and the reason for that is, I don't know if you could see it, but right here, the sensing sprites are where the game left them, over here on the right side of the screen. So when the sensing sprites receive the goal message, they also need to go back to their starting locations. Okay, so let's start with this first one, and then you could do the rest of them yourself. Let's go over to events and say when I receive goal, I'm going to go back to this setup here. So I can go to motion, go to player 1. I could change X by, change Y by, and I'll do -15 by 15, just like I did right here on the green flag. And actually, when I receive goal, we want to wait for a couple seconds, right? Just like we did with the player 1. So let's go ahead and wait for 3 seconds before we do that. And we want to go ahead and put that same code all around to all of the other sensing sprites, and I'll let you go ahead and do that yourself.